Yeah, I want to know why you lied at that last tribunal hearing.
What?
Why you lied at the last tribunal hearing?
Mate, why do you say that?
Because you said people called you and made a complaint about me. You're trying to fabricate an image that I'm mentally ill. Okay, now you don't have evidence that I'm mentally ill. All you've got is opinion, which is wrong. Do you think your opinion is 100% correct?
There is no person who has 100% correct opinion.
Can you please repeat that?
No human being has 100% opinion. That is correct.
No, it's not. So what part of you might acknowledge that you are wrong in what you're doing?
Let's look at it this way.
Yeah?
There will be certain part of me or certain things I would have said that is wrong, and there will be certain part of what you are saying that you also need to look into. You know what I mean? It's not as if you are 100% right in this case, or I'm 100% right in this case.
I have never said that. Okay? I'm the only one that has never said that. I've always said that what I know I'm right about, I'm 100% right about. What I don't know about, I will explain that I don't know whether I'm 100% correct.
Maybe
what I don't know at all, I will also explain what I don't know about that. Okay? They're the three options, they're the three states of conversation. Either I know what I'm talking about and I'll let you know that. Either I don't know what I'm talking about and I'll let you know that. If I'm kind of certain, I'll let you know. Okay? Now I know what Choco said that day at the pub. Now you've told the tribunal that you think, in your opinion, that it didn't happen. You have no evidence. You did not interview anyone else from that day. You did not interview Mel or Tony or Red that were sitting there present at the time. You did not interview them. Your opinion is it didn't happen.
I may be wrong.
You are wrong.
I may be wrong.
You are wrong. There is no reason that you cannot justify medicating me with a harsh medication that has done nothing but wreck my life, and yet you're still going to do the same thing again. What benefit is there for me? You might satisfy your ego. Yeah, you do.
There's no ego issue here.
Well, there is, mate, because you don't want to be wrong. You don't want to apologise for what you've done. The same as what that doctor said in 2007. You're right, Jeff, you're right in what you say, but we're not going back on what we've done. Your authority is so far down your head, you're not coming back from it. You know?
Now, I've heard you what you say.
All right.
That maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm right, but you believe that I'm wrong on certain information that I gave based on my opinion.
You are wrong.
Yeah. Well, let's take it that I'm wrong in that area.
Yeah. So then what?
Let's take it that I'm wrong in that area.
So
Can
then
you
what?
tell me about areas where you think you may also not know?
Okay. There are many things that have happened over the years that have been told by people that have happened, and I cannot verify their version of what's happened. Okay, so when that person said to me, Sean Brigetti has pinned a triple murder on you, sign those bits of paper and we'll help you. Okay, now I do not know if Sean Brigetti did or didn't commit those murders. Okay, but I know that this person said that, intimidated me, threatened me and coerced me into signing 2 bits of paper. Then I get told by the mental health system that nothing can be done with those bits of paper. But that's the furthest thing from the truth. It is a contract. If I sign it, that's all I have to do. They can fill out the date. They can fill out to whom and to whatever. They can fill out that afterwards. That's a contract. Now the mental health system tells me that it doesn't matter, but it does. So therefore, this ongoing conflict, which is getting worse, my family don't speak to me. It's getting worse. What is going to be better?
Where is that contract? Do you have a copy of that?
No, I don't. Why would I have a copy of it? They made sure that I don't have any evidence at all.
Who did you sign this contract with?
In 2004, a redhead bloke and a friend of his, I guess, a girl, came round to my house. They told me that these people had pinned a triple murder on me and that I would be going to jail if I did not sign 2 bits of paper for them to help me. Okay, they utilised my ex-girlfriend and threatened that harm would come to her. Okay, that was my first love, that girlfriend. Okay, so they attacked me on the most emotional points of my life to convince me to sign 2 bits of paper. I tell this to the mental health system. I tell this to my family. They all tell me it's in my head. It's imaginary. They can't do anything with those bits of paper. But you know what an enduring contract is? A lifelong contract? What if that's what this is?
So do you know these guys? Those two guys?
From what I understand, at high school, 1984, I was in trouble. The lecturer, teacher, after school spoke to me. He asked me about problems at home. I told him a fair bit of detail what had happened. Apparently he has related that information to the rest of the classmates in 1984. That's why the harassment and torment is now going on 25 years. You see how long this has gone on for? That's where the symptoms of anxiety, depression, anger, and not being able to fit into society stems from many years of abuse, not from mental illness. Same symptoms, but different cause, mate. That's what
I quite agree with you that the symptom may be the same, but the cause are different.
Exactly.
So what do you think would be the best solution? Because
the first thing,
symptoms
right?
are the same thing,
Yeah.
the cause may be different. So how do we have
the first thing is to acknowledge.
that?
Acknowledge what I'm saying. Acknowledge what I'm saying. Make me feel valid that what I'm saying is being heard and being...
What would you like me to acknowledge?
That the abuse has happened for the best part of 25 years. That it's not a chemical imbalance in my brain that makes me think that I'm being tormented. It's a real torment, okay? What Choco said at the pub that day is no different from what happened at Ready Mix when I first got to Geraldton in 2007, late 2007. No different to Ingham Chicken, TL Engineering, Springer Food, Logistic Transport Company. All those places where I worked, I was harassed in the workplace, and when I quit or when I leave or when I get sacked, whatever might actually occur because of the conflict that arises from that, my family have always said, you smoke pot, therefore you're mentally ill. You've got no proof, therefore you're mentally ill, okay? Now they've gone with that because they've been convinced that marijuana causes mental illness, but we both know that's not necessarily the case, okay? I'll smoke it, but that does not take away from the torment, okay? It's just an enabler. It enables you guys to keep going with the notion that I'm mentally ill, okay? You add the marijuana and the torment and the fact that there's no evidence, well, no evidence that has been acknowledged. You get what I'm saying by that? A broken door handle, okay, on my old house. Apparently that's not evidence, because apparently the son was heating up the door handle and broke it. That's a more logistical answer, according to my family, than someone leaning on the door and breaking it. The back door of the house, I've got 2 dogs. Blonde hair draped across my keyboard when I haven't been home. I come home and there's a blonde curly hair draped across the keyboard. I live alone, and I always have done.
So, from what I understand, is that you agree that you have some distressing experience of harassment, persecution. That may look like mental illness, but it is not mental illness because you believe the cause is different.
The cause is real, and
so you don't think
the symptoms are similar to mental illness. If you think about it, right, like if you get tormented in the workplace, right, you say to your boss, you know, this person's doing this and saying this and spreading these rumours about me, and then the boss sacks me. What sort of anger do you think that would create?
Yeah, that is injustice.
Yeah, it is. And when I go to the mental health system, so right. So when I say to my family I was tormented in the workplace, I got sacked. They say, no, you smoke marijuana and you just imagined it. You're going to Greylands. Greylands says to me, no, you're persecution disorder, delusional disorder, or paranoid schizophrenic, whatever they try to choose at the time, and then they medicate me, reinforcing a false belief.
Yeah. So, but there are certain things I gather from here. Number one, I agree with you that there are many causes, many factors that can create distress.
Yep.
And when one is distressed, the symptoms can look like that of mental illness.
They can.
I agree with you on that basis.
Yeah.
And in terms of the cause, various factors that could cause it, you refer to the fact that you confided in your teacher in 1984.
Yes.
And about what was going on in your family.
Yes.
Yeah, and your teacher most probably disclosed this to the
other
class.
students.
for those students. And since that time, people have been picking on you and harassing you, and that is what have continued up to date.
It has.
How has that happened? How does it happen? I'm sorry.
Word of mouth. Gossip, word of mouth, street credibility.
Yeah.
Okay? Someone who can put it over another person and get away with it, that makes them street credible, which instills fear in other people
What
so
was
they
happening
don't.
in your family at the time?
There's that sexual abuse.
Who was being sexually abused?
How it started right is, look, there's probably four main incidences when I was a kid, right, that have triggered all this. The first one is I was in daycare at the age of about 4 or 5.
Yep.
Okay, it was a single mother or a housewife with 3 of her own kids,
Yes.
and she took other kids in to look after them while mothers worked.
Yeah.
Okay, now on one of these daycares, the other kids tied a rope around my neck and they whipped me with the other end of the rope.
Around your neck?
Yes. They whipped me with the other end of the rope, leaving marks, welts all over my arms, my face. They kicked the crap out of me. They pissed on me. They just abused me for probably an hour or so. I got up and went inside, and there's a little kids' castle inside which the toddler played in, and I went and hid in that. And the lady says, "You're too big for that. Get outside." So I went back outside and I hid behind the shed and had sticks poked at me for the rest of the afternoon. That's my experience of
How
other
old were
people.
you then?
4 or 5. So that's my experience of other people, okay? Then there was just the kids stuff of when I was about 8, we were sharing a house with another family, and 2 of those kids that were older than me played their games, okay? Not supposed to be harmful, but in reality it can be. It can become harmful, okay? Just childhood games, right? Then, when I was about 11, me and a cousin walked into a toilet block, and there's a redhead kid that was sexually abusing a toddler. Now, me and my cousin, we beat the shit out of him, very similar to what I copped when I was 4 or 5, i.e. we pissed on the kid, we kicked the crap out of him, we got the little toddler to lay into him.
That was when you were age 9.
11, I think, okay? Now, as I grew up to a teenager, this redhead kid said to a friend of mine that his family wants my blood, okay? Now, this family is a video specialist family. They made money by videotaping sporting events on the weekend, copying those videos and then selling them to the participants that were in that sporting event, okay? Now, this person became involved in pornography. He mentioned things about snuff movies at the time. It turns out when I had to leave the family home, I was more or less kicked out. Okay, very similar circumstances to just recent. I had to take a rental. The cheapest rental I could take was at a house next door to a redhead bloke.
How old were you then?
21, just after my dad committed suicide. This redhead bloke who lived in the same suburb, Girraween, seemed familiar. He had a girlfriend.
I didn't realise you guys had come in.
I'm here, so I'm sorry. You're welcome.
He had a girlfriend, Kelly Mearns. Now, she worked at the deli, and I'd go to the deli each day to buy a packet of smokes and a newspaper, because I'd read the newspaper, but also at this point I was looking for a rental. She mentioned that there was a rental next door to her.
Good.
One stage she asked me to go down to the Mr. Minute for her and get a set of keys cut. I did that and I gave them back to her. Okay, I ended up taking this rental, which was next door to this girl and this redhead bloke. Now, I noticed strange goings on, like they'd come into the house. I'd think, I've locked the front door, how'd they get in? They just walked straight in. What it was is, they would try and take pictures of me in the shower, okay? So they'd come into the house when I'd have a shower, okay? Now, one day I had a washing machine going. The hot water kicked in, the hot water system kicked in, the next door neighbour hears it, he comes rushing over with a key, goes through the house, and I'm sitting in the lounge room and I think, what the fuck are these people doing in my house? You know, it was only a rental, I was only there for a few months, but this is the type of game that they play, okay? There's another girl named Odette that they associated with, and she was extremely promiscuous, and these people would organise a spa, to hire a spa, and I'd have her make movies and